Not long after David was made king, he and his men went to take the city of Jerusalem, and it was a stronghold, strong fortified walls, and the Jebusites lived there, and they had lived there since the days of Joshua. The children of Israel and of Judah had never been able to drive the Jebusites out. So for several hundred years, the Jebusites were dug in like a tick in a dog's back. And so it says in 2 Samuel chapter 5 and verse 6, the king and his men went to Jerusalem unto the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, which spake unto David, saying, Except thou take away the blind and the lame, thou shalt not come in hither, thinking David cannot come in hither. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion. The same is the city of David. Now, this is very strange, and there have been a lot of people who have speculated about exactly what this means. The Jebusites are so secure in their stronghold, they trust in the walls so much that they basically say, unless you come past the blind and the lame, you're not going to get in here. So either they trusted their walls so much that they were taunting David, or there's something more going on with this. And some have said, well, they placed the blind there because they can't see, but they became the watchman because a person whose eyes aren't working develops much more sensitive hearing, and so they would be very sensitive to an approach of the enemy. And they stationed the lame on the walls because they couldn't run. They had no choice but to fight to the death. There's probably something to that, but I think there's something more. Because the next verse says, And David said on that day, Whosoever getteth up to the gutter and smiteth the Jebusites, and the lame and the blind, that are hated of David's soul, he should be chief and captain. Wherefore they said, The blind and the lame shall not come into the house. Now, why would David hate the lame and the blind? I don't think David just hates lame people and just hates blind people. I don't think that at all. I think he hates this particular group of people because of what they are. I think they've been made lame and they've been made blind because of the worship of these people, because of their pagan practices. And there's some kind of magic associated with them. And as a result of that, they're basically pronouncing a curse that you can't come through them. Their magical barrier based on these lame and blind men was so strong that they felt secure. And I think maybe it put a boogaboo on David's men, so much so that nobody wanted to go there. Maybe the curse associated with this was such that if you touch one of these, you're going to be lame, you're going to be blind. And so the magic was what they were using to protect their city. This would be very common amongst pagans, amongst the false worship that many of these ancient peoples believed in. And David hates that. He hates the idolatry and the magic that's associated with it. And he also hates the fact that his men are boogered by this. That's why he makes the offer that whoever is the first one up is going to wind up being the chief of the army. He can't have a superstitious guy who's boogered by the worship of false idols to be his general. He's got to have a guy who's absolutely sold out to God and who's totally loyal to his king. And so the Bible tells us in 1 Chronicles chapter 11, and David said, Whosoever smiteth the Jebusites first shall be chief and captain. So Joab, the son of Zeruiah, went first up and was chief. And this is what we see that Joab, he's not scared. He's not superstitious. He fears God more than he fears these false gods and false goddesses. He's not scared of their magic, and so he leads the charge. I just want to encourage you today. There's an awful lot of superstitious bugaboos and hullabaloo in our world. Don't go for that stuff. Listen, you need to fear God. You need to know what his word says. And you need to listen to him, not all of the superstitious mumbo jumbo. God bless you. Have a great day.